I am 27 years old and about to get divorced from my husband after only being married for 3 months.
Let me say something that a lot of people are afraid to admit out loud. You can still be married, faithful, committed, and still be in love with someone from your past. Yeah, I know that's uncomfortable, but it's the truth. And if you're watching this, there's a chance this story is hitting a lot closer to home than you'd like to admit. So today, I'm not here to judge, I'm here to talk about it honestly, because silence is where confusion grows.
I posted this story time yesterday, but I deleted it because I got scared. I'm not going to yip yap too much because I know this story. This is only part one, and it's going to take the whole 10 minutes. So I'm just about to get right into it. So my husband and I got married within a year of dating. I know. People gonna say that was too fast or yada yada yada. But in my head, I didn't think that was too fast because that was my man. That was my man. I loved him. He always treated me right. He was kind, protective. He was a problem solver. He was strong and handsome. He was in a gym. He prayed with me. Like, he just took care of me, really. So I didn't think there was anything to it. There was some things that he was missing when it comes to what I desired in a man and a husband. But I had never had a man that was treating me in this way. And he just came at a time where I was like, oh, that's gotta be God. And it wasn't. So, it's important to note that my husband is an alcoholic. Well, my soon to be ex husband is an alcoholic. And he always claimed that he actually wasn't an alcoholic, which is red flag number one. But he's an alcoholic. So there would be times where he would occasionally slip up when it comes to drinking while we were still dating, but it wouldn't be anything major. It'd be like a couple Four Locos or something, but he wouldn't be like drunk or messed up. Well, actually, there was a couple times where he got drunk, but I never thought too much of it because it was like once every blue moon. So I was like, oh, okay, he's just going through some things. Mental health and black men, he just needs somebody to be there for him. I'm not going to be that woman that turns my back on him when he needs somebody, yada, yada, yada. So fast forward, and it's about time for us to get married. Well, it's not time for. We didn't plan our marriage. We eloped. It was like a decision like that. We had already been talking about getting married, but we didn't plan to do it when we did it. So, about a week prior to us getting married, there was things were getting rough in our relationship, and it was stressing me out. Yeah, there was just a lot of things going on. He was drinking more, and he was just not okay mentally. And I was calling off work to take care of him and all the other stuff. So one day we was on the way home, and he looked at me and said, "Let's get married." And I'm like, "What? Like, are you sure? Because, like, are you sure you're not saying that out of emotions right now? Because, you were already drinking a little bit. Are you sure that you actually want to do this?" And I should have been the one to be like, "No, we're not going to do that." But I wanted to get married so bad that I overlooked all the red flags that was staring at me blatantly in the face. It was just, I was blind. Like, I didn't see it. I had on rose colored lenses. So, anyways, that same day we said, let's get married, we went and got married. Bought the rings and everything the same day and went to the courthouse and got married. And I was so happy after we got married. Like, it was great. He was sober, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is it. I found my person. I'm married now. Like, we're going to be together for the rest of our lives. This is going to be so great. God is going to bless us because we did the right thing, yada, yada, yada. So, literally right after we got married, he decided he wanted to go get a drink to celebrate. And I'm like, that's an odd way to celebrate it when you're supposed to be sober. Like, we're supposed to just be enjoying this together, sober. But, I digress. So he went and got like some wine, I think. And from that point on, that man was literally drinking every day. Things went downhill so quickly after we got married. There was literally not one day where we were able to celebrate or just be happy as newlyweds. There was not one day at all. He might have been happy because he was just living it up. But I was miserable because he quit his job right after that. So he didn't have a job. We just had my car, and it's all rink-a-dink. And he stopped doing anything. He wasn't helping me around the house. He wasn't helping me with anything at all. I was doing all the cooking and cleaning, and I was taking care of him like he was a newborn. Like, whatever you have to do with a newborn, I was doing that for him. I'm not going to go into details, but I was doing that. I was a caretaker I was a caretaker because he was too drunk to take care of himself. This was really taking a toll on our relationship, on me. I was extremely stressed out. I grew resentful towards him because this is not what I signed up for. This is not the man that I agreed to marry. This is not the man that I originally met. This is not the man I fell in love with. I felt like I got duped. I felt like he had on a mask the entire time, or at least pretended for as long as he could. And as soon as we got married, he just stopped caring. He just gave up because he knew how I felt about divorce. He knew that I didn't like. I would do everything in my power not to get a divorce. And I believe he took advantage of that. So, he was on one of his binge days where he was just drinking, like to the point where seeing him sober made me happy because he actually did something, because he was never sober. He woke up before he ate breakfast. He was at the gas station buying a drink. So, so one day this is the downfall towards things, because I was willing to work with him through all this other stuff. I said, oh, we can go get you in rehab. I'm gonna stand beside you. I'm gonna help you. You just need help. You just need prayer, all of this stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stand beside him. I'm gonna stick beside him. It's hard, but hey. So anyways, this what I'm about to say next is when things started to really go downhill. So he was drunk and he was outside talking on the phone, and my spider senses was tingling. So I'm at the window, like, because he was standing next to the window. I'm listening to his conversation. He's on the phone with his ex-girlfriend. He's on the phone with his ex-girlfriend confessing that he wants to be with her. You know, whatever it takes, we can forget about the past. I want to be with you. I want to be with you. I'll leave right now. You just got to tell me that you want this. Mind you, we're married. So I walk outside like, nigga, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Why are you talking? Who are you talking to, first of all? And I found out it was his ex, and that really pissed me off. Like, I started crying. And I was like, why would you do this to me? Why would you wait till after we get married to do all this? You could have just left me alone. You could have left me where I was. We could have stayed as boyfriend and girlfriend. You didn't have to marry me. Now we have to, like, in order to separate, we have to get divorced. There's no breaking up and just walking away. We have to get divorced. So I was pissed, and he saw me crying, and he started to tear up. Like, it seemed like it bothered him that he hurt me, but not enough to stop, because he went into the house. Like, literally after that conversation, went into the house, called her again in the bedroom while I'm standing right there. Now, after this, he claimed to not remember doing it. He was like, oh, I was drunk. You know, I don't remember doing that stuff. You know, I only want you. I don't want her. I don't know why I did that, yada, yada, yada. And I'm not happy about this at all. But I'm like, you know what? Like, it's just words. Nothing really happened. So, you know, I really pissed about it. So I don't really forgive you. But what can I do right now? So we just continue. And I'm still resentful for him, towards him, not really talking to him, and just, you know. So after this, he ends up calling somebody to be like, oh, hey, like, you know, I just need a break. I need to get out of here, whatever. So he ends up going to another city with somebody. I'm not going to say, like, who it was, but he ends up going to another city. It was a guy, somebody, you know, part of the family, whatever. He ends up going to another city with them. I don't think nothing of it, but he's there, and he's, like, not really answering my phone calls at all. Like, he's not answering my phone calls. I got his location, so I see where he's at, but I'm not familiar with that city, so me seeing where he's at does not mean anything at all. So I'm blowing his phone up, texting him whatever, he's not answering. So I eventually do get a hold of him. He comes home or whatever, and I found out that the ex that he called lives in that very city that he went to visit. Now, I don't know if he actually did anything. I have my suspicions, but I have no proof. He swears up and down that he ain't do nothing, but I don't know. Okay, my time is almost up, and it's only the tip of the iceberg. But when he got back home, I was like, okay, I'm upset that he went there in the same city as his ex and didn't tell me, and then didn't answer the phone. He always swore up and down that he would never cheat on me. So I was like, I'm not sure what to believe at this point. I'm angry, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm relieved that he's here and that he's okay. So maybe everything will be fine now. Maybe he can be sober. Maybe that's what he needed in order to, like, reset, you know? Maybe this is exactly what he needed, but no, that was not the case. Okay, y'all, I ran out of time, so I'm about to make part 2. And yeah, I'll see y'all there. Okay, here's part 2 of what I just posted. So, he just got home from going to another city that his ex just happened to live in. And I'm thinking, okay, everything's going to be cool. Everything's going to be dandy. He's able to reset now, and we're going to be great. No, that's not That's not what happened at all. Things just continued to go downhill. He didn't get any better. He just got worse. Oh, and he just continued to like try to call his ex, and he kept saying like, "Oh, she reached out to me." I'm not stupid. You was calling her, so like that pissed me off. That our relationship was like really on thin ice. Then I was praying to God, like writing in my journals, like Lord, literally one page of my journal literally just said, God, please. That's literally it. I'm praying like, Lord, why is this happening? I thought this was my husband. Like, why is he hurting me like this? It's not what I signed up for. I don't want this. I'm not happy. Yada, yada, yada. So I'm praying down. I'm praying down. It was literally just me and God. Me and God. That's the only way I kept myself sane. So, anyways, fast forward. He ended up blocking her. Fast forward. This is the day. This is Christmas Eve. And he has still been drinking pretty consistently at this point. He keeps saying he's going to stop because I'm doing everything I can to get him in rehab, but he refuses to go. And if y'all know anything about rehab, the person has to pretty much be willing to go, and he was not willing. So, yeah, it was Christmas Eve, and he had been drinking a lot. So, and we had family over. My family was over for a game night, and then halfway through game night, we were supposed to go to see his family. And so I didn't know that he bought liquor, like a whole bottle of vodka that's about this big, this tall, and like a little bit wider than that. But a whole bottle of vodka. And he had been drinking on it. When I found out that he had that, I was like, yo, what's going on? Like, we're supposed to be going out with family. You should not be drinking right now. Like, what are you doing? He said, oh, it's cool. I got it. I can handle it. And I saw him pour one drink. But by the time a couple hours go time from the time that he bought the bottles, it's time to go. It's only been like 2-3 hours. By the time it's that time, he keep his liquor in the closet. I open the closet, that bottle is almost completely gone. There was only like 2 to 3 shots left. I'm like, we're supposed to be going out, and you say you got it, but you didn't drink almost a whole bottle of freaking vodka at one time. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't vodka, it was tequila. So you drank about a whole bottle of tequila within a couple hours. And you think that we're about to go be around your family, they're not going to notice? Like, come on now. So I'm pissed. Like, for me, that was the straw that brought the camel back. I was already thinking in my head, like, I don't want to do this no more. Like, I am so tired of this. I'm tired. I don't have nothing else to give. Even the little bit I had left to give, I don't want to give it no more. Like, clearly this man is not trying. He doesn't want this as badly as I do. So what is the point? So he's messed up at this point. So, but I'm trying to keep it together because people who don't know him could be like, oh, like he just, maybe he just, got a lot of energy or, something like that. People who don't know him like that wouldn't think that he was drunk until he started stumbling and stuff and slurring his words. But the person we were riding with, they knew him. The moment he opened his mouth to speak, they looked at me, I'm like, so that person turns around and say, oh no, y'all going back to the house. I ain't even mad at him because I would have did the same thing. Okay, like I get that. All right. So, but he's in the car mad, cussing, yelling. And I'm like, you're not finna disrespect this person like that. Like, stop talking to them like that. And he was mad at me because I wasn't defending him, but he lying to this person straight to their face. Lying. I'm not a liar. I don't like to lie. It eats me up inside. I'm not good at it. So I just don't say anything. I'm just like, I'm pissed. So I'm just staring out the window. I'm shaking my leg like, I can't wait to get back to the house so I can chew this nigga out. I'm mad. So we get back to the house and he slammed the door to the car, storms inside. I thank the person for the ride, apologize for everything, and I go inside. And this man already at the closet opening up the bottle of tequila. Like he ain't already drunk enough. Like he ain't learned his lesson. Already in there drinking, making noise while my family's in the house. My whole family's in the house. So they hear everything. The house not that big. So I'm like, go outside with that. I don't want my family to hear. My son is here. You need to go outside with that. So he did not want to go outside, but I took the bottle from him and like coaxed him outside like a cat with some catnip. I was like, just come on. You want it. Come on. So he eventually came outside and I was telling him like, I'm tired of this. I don't want to be with you. I'm pissed. You're lying. Like he was trying to flip it on me. Like, this is your fault. You need to take accountability for your actions. You know you're not supposed to be drinking, but yeah, here you are. So I was like, I'm done. I don't care about no apologies. I don't want to try again. I am done. I'm done. So we're arguing. He's yelling. He's cussing. I'm yelling. I'm cussing. I don't curse. So you got to get me out of character for me to say some bad words because I just don't curse. It's not in me. It's not who I am. So I'm like pissed. And we're going at it. And, I take his bottle because he won't get off my porch. I asked him to leave 1,000 times. He wouldn't leave. So I took his bottle of tequila and went out in the street because I know he gonna follow it. So, and he did. So I had his bottle. I said, come on, like, I want you to go. I don't want you here no more. And I started shoving him, not like pushing him with all my might, but just like a little shove, like, how could you do this to me? Why are you doing this? Like, you promised me that you wouldn't, stuff like that. So we're going at it. He's saying this, and all he want, like, give me my bottle. Give me my bottle, Diana. Give me my bottle. And then I was like, he threatened me. He said, like, he was like, I'm gonna punch you. Like, I'm gonna punch you in your face. And I was like, I got in his face, like, do it. I double dare you to do it. Do it. Like, if you say you're gonna put your hands on me, do it. Be a man of your word for once. Do it. But he didn't do it. He was just looking at me like he was pissed. And all he kept asking for his bottle. So I shoved it to him. I was like, had the bottle. I said, here, take it and go. Get the stepping. Like, it's illegal to walk down the street with an open bottle of liquor. But hey, not my problem anymore. Just go. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to be with you. So I'm walking back on the porch, and he's following me. I had already locked the front door by this time, by the way. I had already locked the front door because I knew he was going to try to get back inside. So he's following me. He get back on the porch, and I keep telling him to leave. I was like, leave. I don't want you here. Leave. He refused to leave. Instead, he pushes me. He's pushing me at this point, and I got on heels, so I'm tumbling back. And the neighbors see everything. They're like, hey, man, chill. Y'all got to chill. Like, it's Christmas Eve. Don't do that. Whatever, man. Just leave her alone. Just go. No, he wouldn't listen. So he tried to go back in the house, but the door locked. So he banging on the door, ringing the doorbell. Why my family is there? My son comes to the door to try to open the door. And I'm like, don't open the door. Don't open the door. Like, do not open the door. So my son sees me. He doesn't open the door. And by this time, my family is walking up to the door. My soon-to-be ex-husband looks me in my face with eyes so dark I don't recognize him. It was literally like he was possessed. Like something overtook him. Like, it scared me. He looked at me. He grabbed both hands and put them around my neck and was strangling me. I'm hanging over the railing on the porch with my feet dangling. And time is moving by slow at this point. I don't have any idea how long he strangled me. It could have been 3 seconds, 30 seconds, 3 minutes. I wouldn't have known the difference because I was like out of body and things literally moved in slow motion. All I remember is staring at him with his hands around my neck thinking like, this man that I love is strangling me. He has his hands wrapped around my neck, holding me over the railing of my front porch. Like, there's bushes right there. I'm in the bushes. And he's strangling me. The man that I love is doing this to me. That's all I could think about. Then a family member of mine came out. He got him off of me. I called the police immediately as his hands off my neck. I called the police immediately. Like, come get this man. He claims he don't remember doing that. When he got to jail, he was calling me and saying, like, I'm so sorry. I would have never done anything like that to you. I'm sorry. Like, can you please come get me? Yada, yada, yada. Like, I'm sorry. I don't remember. I keep looking at my hands like, oh, my gosh, I can't believe I did that to her. And I wasn't falling for it. At that time, I wasn't falling for it. I refused to bail him out. And I had PTSD. Time's almost up. I had to call the ambulance because my throat, like, I couldn't talk. My throat was so hoarse and it hurt to talk. It hurt to swallow. And I just had PTSD. I still do for a while. Anyways, next story in part 2. I'm sorry. Actually, part 3. Part 3 of why I'm divorcing my husband after 3 months of being married. So, this is after New Year's. He's been bailed out, not by me, and he's staying with the family member now. So, we're supposed to be no contact. But he does end up contacting me. Eventually, I do come back around. I do not let him come back to live with me. We're still living separately, and we're still technically married, but separated. Like, we're like, okay, we're not together right now. We're going to like work towards that, but there are some things that we both need to work on before we get back together, because I have some healing to do and you have some healing to do. Like, you need to get sober. So the deal was for him to go to AA meetings, take anger management classes, to do individual counseling, and then when the time was right, we was going to do couples counseling. So that was the deal. We had been talking mostly during that time, but the more time went, the less we talked. And he spent more and more time not talking to me. And it started to feel like I was the one that was trying to make up for something. And I felt guilty. A part of me felt guilty for him going to jail because he had never been violent towards me before that. And I mean, never. So this took me off guard. He had never, ever done anything like that to me. So, I was like, okay, maybe he really doesn't remember. Maybe that's really not in his character. Maybe all those statistics about, domestic violence and spouses who strangle their partner, maybe I'm the exception to the rule. Like, I was still fearful, still had PTSD. I was still on the lookout, still very anxious to be around him. But, I was willing to give it another chance because we're married. So I was like, okay, he has never done anything like that. So because it was an isolated event, I'm willing to do the work to overcome it. So time goes by and he's supposed to be sober, but I do recognize that he does occasionally drink, and now he has a weed pen. And I feel in my gut that we're not going to make it. I feel like, this is not something I can deal with. Even though I would hope that there was an isolated incident, I can't say that I will ever feel safe around you. Like, I don't know if that's something that I can ever get past, because I recognize now that when I did see him, I was always jumpy. I was always on edge. So fast forward, that's how things are going. So it's now my birthday. My birthday was February 7th. So it's my birthday now. He has a job where he's working like overnight and sleeps during the day. Since he started that job, we haven't been talking at all, really. Like, we would go like 2 days without talking. Not by any lack of my effort. I would call, I would text, no reply. And he would just always be like, oh, my bad, I was asleep. Sorry, I'm just not seeing it. Yada, yada, yada. And I would be like, I feel like if you don't want to do this, just let me know. Like, if this is not something that you're willing to do, I feel like you don't like me anymore. And I was very anxious. Like, I had anxious attachment because I'm like, I feel like I'm being abandoned. Like, childhood trauma just was being triggered. So, I don't think too much of it. I know he got some mental things going on and he's working. Maybe he's just extra tired and he's sleeping a lot. So I'm like, okay, maybe he's just depressed. So my birthday comes and I'm like, oh, I want to see you for my birthday. I'm out with my girls. So it's not like I spent the whole day with them. I just wanted to stop by and say hello. So I was like, I just want to see you for my birthday. Can I come over? And when he called me, something about him was like, have you been drinking? And he said no. And I was like, okay. And right then I had made up in my mind that if I get there and he's intoxicated, I'm going to leave and I'm going to be done because it's my birthday. You could have just held it together for my birthday. Like, the bar was in hell. It's not there no more, but the bar was in hell. Like, you could have just held it together for my day. And all I asked of him, because I knew he didn't have a lot of money because he was Ubering back and forth to work. So I know he didn't have a lot of money. That's not an excuse because I still feel like he could have got some flowers or something. He could have did something. And I did the most on his birthday. But I feel like he could have did something. So when I got to his place and I saw him, I automatically knew that he wasn't sober. Now, I can't say if it was like drunk sober. I mean, drunk intoxicated, whatever, because when I tell y'all, it had been like 3 to 4 weeks since I saw him. And he looked completely different. His muscle tone was pretty much gone. His hair was just everywhere. Facial hair just everywhere. And his eyes were just like empty. They were empty. Not dark as in like, oh, he doesn't have a soul, but just like you looked in his eyes and was like, there's not a thought in the world behind those eyes. And at the same time, it just seemed like he was fighting internal battles. Like who he actually was lost somewhere inside of him. That's what it looked like when I saw him. And that scared me. Not scared me as like, oh, I'm scared for my life, but scared me as like, I am concerned. Like, if you keep going down this path, you're going to end up unalive. I'm concerned at this point. So when I see him, I'm like, what do you have going on? Like, are you intoxicated? Are you intoxicated? No. He's laughing. He's acting strung out, honestly. He's acting like he's on something else besides alcohol. But I'm like, bro, this is weird. So on the way walking towards his apartment, he keeps walking behind me. And my spidey senses is tingling. Like, my fight or flight instincts are up. So he keeps walking behind me, and I'm keep looking back, pulling him up beside me. Like, don't walk behind me. I don't like that. Walk beside me or walk in front of me, but don't walk behind me. So he is in front of me or whatever, and he opens the door to his apartment. We go inside, and we're talking, and he's just acting weird. Like, he's saying weird things. He's doing all like this. Just being weird, like strung out really. And I'm like, yeah, I don't like this. I'm about to go. I don't take my coat off, my hat, my purse. I still got everything with me. It's like, yeah, I'm about to go. And he stops me from leaving. Like, I walk to the door and he shuts, like he pushes the door closed when I'm at the door. And he sits there, locks the door, puts his hand like this, and it's like, you're not leaving. And he turned the lights off before he said this. He said, you're not leaving. So I'm backing up. I got my keys in between my fingers like this. Because I ain't got no weapon, but I got the sharpest key. And I'm going to be ready to jab you just in case I need to. So I'm backing up, and he walking closer. I'm backing up. He walking closer. I'm backing up. And it gets to a point where, like, I can feel myself shaking because at this point I'm terrified. And, like, he keeps, like, trying to grab onto me. And I'm like, let me go, let me go. He said, just give me a hug. So I hug him. And then I let go. And I was like, okay, just let me go. And he started walking towards me. So I sit on the couch, and he's standing over me like this. Just standing over me, just saying weird stuff. And at this point, I'm not crying, but you can tell I'm on the verge of tears because he's like, what's wrong? And I was like, you're scaring me. Like, I don't want to be here. I want to leave. I'm about to go. And he looked me dead in my face and he laughed. He said, you're not leaving here. I'm going to hurt you. He literally said it just like that. Just like that, that man looked at me and said that I'm not going to leave and that he was going to hurt me. At that point, I immediately jump up. And I'm like, I'm leaving out this door. And I would hate to hurt you. But if you stop me, like, and he following me towards the door, he's walking behind me still. And once I'm walking towards the door, he grabbed me again, wrapped his arms around me. I was able to kind of dodge a little bit because I already knew something was coming. Like, I knew in my head that if I didn't get out of that apartment, I was going to die. So I was already prepared for me to fight him off. So I got him off me. I walk out in the hallway. I'm glad I'm in the hallway at this point because there's neighbors. So if something happened, I was going to scream at the top of my lungs. So I'm walking down the hallway, and he'd be like, oh, come back. I'm like, I didn't mean it. I was joking. Like it was a joke. And I'm getting down the hallway. I'm not even turning around. I'm walking. He catches up to me, and I said, like, do you remember what you said? He's like, what? And I told him. And he was like, oh, I didn't say that. You're hearing things. You're just hearing things. That scared me even more. I was like, nah, I'm about to go. So he was trying to coax me back inside, but I looked at him and everything in me told me if I were to go back into his apartment, I would not make it out. I knew that if I didn't get away, that I was going to end up dead. I don't care if he said he was joking or not. I was completely terrified. So I make it to my car. I get back home. Haven't heard from him since. He didn't call to apologize, hasn't called to check on me or anything. And actually, I blocked him on everything. And that was what led me to leave my husband because I'm afraid for my life. And I refuse to be a true crime story. If your husband or your person shows any signs of domestic violence, leave the first time. Even if they apologize and beg on their knees, leave, please.
I'm married. On paper, I did everything right. I found someone stable, someone loyal, someone who shows up. We built a life. We share responsibilities. We share a bed. We share a last name. From the outside, you're married. And on paper, you did everything right. You found someone stable, someone loyal, someone who shows up. You built a life. You share responsibilities. You share a bed. You share a last name. From the outside, everything looks okay. Everything looks solid. But here's the truth people don't say out loud. There's usually someone who still lives in your heart. Maybe an ex. Not in a physical way, not in a cheating way, but emotionally. They're just some memories that never really pack their bags, moments that still replay, laughs that still echo, and sometimes, even though you hate to admit, you still wonder what if. You ever miss someone who isn't yours anymore? Not enough to destroy your life, but enough that they actually cross your mind when you hear a certain song, drive past a certain place, or smell a familiar perfume in a crowded room. Yeah, that's the kind of missing that I'm talking about. People think love just switches off, like a light. Break up, click, and it's gone. But that's not how real love works. Real love sometimes leaves fingerprints. It rewires your memories. It attaches itself to time, music, places, even seasons. So even when the relationship ends, the emotional imprint doesn't. Especially if you didn't get closure or you broke up because of timing, family pressure, distance, immaturity, not just the general lack of love. See, some relationships end not because they were wrong, but because life got in the way. And those are the hardest ones to bury, because there's no villain to blame, no betrayal, just unfinished emotions. Here's where the conflict actually begins. Marriage is about commitment, choice, showing up daily. Love, the mature kind, is quieter, steadier. But love from the past, that love that lives in nostalgia, is pretty dangerous, because it usually edits out the problems. You don't remember the fights, you don't remember the incompatibility, you only remember the highlights, the road trips, the late night talks, the passion. Memory turns real people into perfect ghosts, and ghosts are very hard to compete with. Let's talk about the guilt, because you can still love your partner and still feel emotionally pulled somewhere else, and that makes you feel like a fraud. You sit across from your partner at dinner and think about someone else's laugh. You feel terrible. You question yourself. Am I ungrateful? Am I a bad partner? Did I marry the wrong person? But thoughts aren't betrayal. Actions are. There's a difference between remembering love and abandoning commitment. One lives in your mind, the other destroys real lives. Sometimes we hold on to an ex because they represent a version of us that no longer exists. Who you were back then. Carefree, hopeful, less burdened. So when you miss them, you also miss who you were. It's not always about the person. Sometimes it's about the time in your life that felt lighter. Before bills, before responsibilities, before marriage felt like work. Your ex becomes a symbol of emotional freedom. But here's the grounding truth. If that relationship was meant to last, it would have. Love alone is not enough to sustain a life. Compatibility matters. Timing matters. Growth matters. Two people can love each other deeply and still not be able to build a stable future together. Marriage isn't built on butterflies. It's built on partnership. And sometimes the person you had fireworks with is not the person you can survive real life with. The most dangerous thing you can do when married is romanticize connection. Checking their social media, wondering if they're happy, imagining meeting again. Because fantasy doesn't show consequences. It doesn't show broken families, hurt partners, confused children, emotional wreckage. Fantasy shows the movie. Reality shows the aftermath. And trust me, they're not the same film. Here's the hard truth. You're responsible for where you place your emotional energy. You can't always control thoughts, but you can control nurturing them. There's a difference between a memory visiting and you sitting up a guest room for it. If you keep feeding the past, you starve the present, and marriage cannot grow in emotional neglect. So the real question isn't, do you still love your ex? The better question is, what kind of love is it now? Because love evolves. Sometimes it becomes gratitude, respect, or just a bittersweet memory. Not partnership, not future. You can appreciate what someone meant to your life without them belonging in your life right now. Marriage is a daily decision, not a one-time vow. You choose your spouse on boring Tuesdays, during arguments, through stress, through routine, and sometimes love feels less intense because it's stable. Peace is quieter than passion, but peace builds home. Passion builds memories. Only one builds a future. So yes, a married person can still feel love for an ex. It happens more than people like to admit. But feeling is not the same as acting. Memory is not the same as destiny. You don't honor your past by destroying your present. You honor it by learning from it, appreciating it, and by choosing consciously the life you're committed to now. Because at the end of the day, love isn't just about who once held your heart. It's about who you decide to keep showing up for every single day. The past may visit, but it doesn't get to move back in. If you made it to the end of the video, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And while you're down there, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss an upload. And I'll see you in the next one.